Hey everyone, I'm Leslie. Welcome to my channel, Bookskers and Purrs. I was tagged by Elaine from Cobalt Dragon in a book tag created by Candy from the Great Literary Rabbit Hole. And I was actually tagged back in June, so I'm still catching up to all my book tags I'm behind on. So thank you, Elaine. I watched your responses, and they're always just so thoughtful, engaging, as always. So hopefully I can do you justice. I don't know. All right, let's get started. How many books are currently or normally on your TBR? I don't. I try not to count them. I have my book stack behind me. Those are a mix of what I have read I need to finish. And that's just current. So I have a cluster of different TBRs going on. I'm currently in the midst of my interview with the Vampire Inspired Readathon. Right now on the bookshelf of Claudia, I'm snooping onto her shelf. And so I've like created prompts. So each character's prompts are based on like their character arc of the show. And I'm reading books specifically from my own shelf. And it's been a lovely experience. So, but that's going on for 2 years, this year and next year. So that's like a mountain of a TBR in itself, just for that. And then me and my friend Sam, let's see, that's 2, 4, 6, 8. So 8 books between me and Sam for the most part, because we're both reading like a romance and and like a murder mystery or a thriller together on like a quarterly basis. It's just something fun that we could do together. And I enjoy spending time with Sam. So that's kind of been like a real joy. Anyways, I'm meandering. So yes, my current TBR, it's like a stack, but like long term, it's a mountain. Amongst all the other projects that I've book projects I have going on, I'm also teaming up with Stuart Griffin, Elaine from Cobalt Dragon, I'm forgetting, Kat from Ginger Bibliophile, and Alan from, I'm always messing up on his name, Big Hard Classic Books, I believe. Alan, correct me. We're reading the Vampire Chronicles, and so they're a reread for me, but might as well be brand spanking new because this is so much I forget that happened in the Vampire Chronicles. So, however many books there are that the group of us are willing to like continue to read, I'm in it for the long haul. So that's another like TBR. So for that TBR, I have to read The Tale of the Body Thief and Memnock the Devil. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna read those kind of last minute because everything, all the other projects I have going on are like encroaching on me. They're becoming huge. Anyways, so I hope that kind of answers the question. Let me see. I only have one. Okay, so James Baldwin, The Devil Finds Work, is like the last book I want to read for Claudia's readathon because I love James Baldwin, and this is more like essay form discussing different films, and so I'm hoping to watch the movies. Like I don't know how I'm gonna do this, but this is gonna be September. I'm gonna try to maybe like read a chunk a week. So yeah, basically Claudia's readathon is like the longest one, but uh, it happens. Anyway, so yes, I have a mountain of TBR. 2, how do you choose TBR books? And have you ever gamified your TBR? Prompt jars, TBR games. I've tried the prompt jar. Uh, oh, excuse me. I think I'm too much of a planner in that way when it comes to reading. I try, yeah. And if a book tickles my fancy, I want to give that particular book a priority over like other ones. So prompt jars don't work. I've tried it. Um, let's see. Gamified. The most gamified version of a TBR is my readathon. That's like the most gamified version I've ever had. Um, and yeah, I'm really enjoying the experience of doing that. Do you have reading areas of focus to choose books for? If yes, how many? You know what? I'm just realizing this box behind me is like not tucked in, and I'm trying to let that go. Um, do you have reading areas of focus to choose books for? Hmm. Oh, maybe not. No, not so much. I'm trying to think about it. Sorry. It's just taking too long to answer. No, I just have so many books on my shelf, and so it's not necessarily. Excuse me. I'm sorry. I'm recording it this at night, and then the yawn starts coming. Um, not in terms of like particular area of topic. I basically just want to blast through my books on my shelf. That's like my goal. Yeah. So the answer is no. I wish I had a better one. Does a TBR help you focus? A TBR definitely helps me focus. Um, I'm not a mood reader. I wish I was. Every once in a while, I'll binge some like romances or cozies. Um, I've had some really beautiful experiences. I've definitely had some misses, some disappointing reads, but all just like good experiences, I guess. But yeah, definitely TBRs help me focus because I'm such an unfocused person that if I have the agenda, I'm gonna get more done. I wish I wasn't that way, but this is how how I am. Do you suffer from the book noise of a TBR? Book noise, TBR. No, book noise. No, I don't. No, no, no. It's just been all like a positive experience. Um, I don't really have any. Yeah, I don't really have any issues with it. Again, there's so many other parts of me that are chaotic. TBR is like the only part of my life that is remotely organized. 6. Do you give your TBR a time limit, and does a TBR make you stress about reading quick enough? Yes. Yes to all of the above. I have a time limit for my TBR because I do have a readathon going on. So I'll give myself 2 months. But again, even with Claudia's readathon, I'm already going over the 2 months because we're about to be in September and I still haven't finished reading all her books. So I'm okay with that. Like the ideal, like I have a goal of reading a certain amount of books in 2 months. But if I can't make it, it's not like a big deal. That just helps me like set my intention. I was feeling a little bit stressed, a little bit frustrated, and disappointed in myself for not having stuck with my agenda. But my bookish buddies that I'm always chatting with when I sprint, as well as my daughter, have really like reminded me I'm the one that sets the limit. I'm the one that sets the goals. It's okay to not meet them because it's all in my head. 7. Do you have rebellion syndrome, not wanting to read a book because you put it on your TBR, now feel you have to read it? No, I definitely don't have that experience because again, I'm so agenda driven in that way. Um, sometimes I when I when I look at the books that I have, I'll find myself prioritizing some books and looking at other books and like keeping it as like the last book. And that could be like for a bunch of different reasons, like James Baldwin's book on Claudia's TBR. I'm keeping it for the last because I want to be able to cherish it. But there's two books I'm in the middle of reading, and that one of them is The Bass Rock, and that's going okay. And there's another book, Poor Things, that was made into a movie. I'm really nervous. I'm going to start reading it and not like it because it's an older book. Oh my goodness, I cannot believe how much. You know what? Take a shot every time I yawn. um, so I think that's just my consideration. Is sometimes I'll put off books just because I'm more out of a concern of not liking it, but definitely not coming from a place of rebellion. Do you keep books on your TBR until they are read, or swap the TBR around regularly? Oh goodness, I would say for the most part, I keep books on my TBR until they're read. But here's the thing: I don't have some giant lists of all the books I planned out to read. Actually, I take that back. That's a lie. I have one on Excel, but that's just kind of like I could change it anytime. I haven't like solidly placed a giant TBR in, let's say, Storygraph or something like that. Um, those Storygraph is like the app that I really lean on and I love it. So I do like to log in, um, like my readathon, like character by character once I get to them. I don't want to have like a huge list to look at all the time because that actually will do the opposite. Instead of having this like great experience I'm taking in, that will overwhelm me. And so that's just basically how I run it. I haven't really swapped out books. I definitely have DNF more than I have in the past. And that's just been a practice I've been trying to stick to and not beat myself up for. 9. Have you ever killed a book by having it on your TBR too long? Mm, no, not that I could think of. I'm trying to remember. No, but to be honest, sometimes like beyond like a set TBR, I will have books on my literal shelf that I picked up from a free little library or someone's given to me and realized I've had it so long, I'm probably not going to read it. And I end up just, yeah, dropping it off at a free little library in exchange for something else. Actually, my daughter and I did that recently. She got a whole bunch of books that she read that she realized she wasn't going to be returning to and dropped it off at a free little library. But in the meantime, the free little library had like so many books, and I found a copy of James, which See the Superior, along with a buddy of hers, oh my gosh, I forgot her name, just discussed on C's channel. So I grabbed a copy of James because now I want to catch up and read it so I could kind of rewatch what C had to say about the book. 10. Do you have a tick list for your TBR to take off books as you read them? Oh, I do have a spreadsheet for my readathon. That's it. All the other ones are kind of I create as I go, and it's one of those things where like for that major of a project, yeah, I do require more organization. But let's say like the ongoing series I have with my friend Sam, I don't want to put that in writing too much because that again, I think that'll be another thing that'll overwhelm me. Just visually seeing all the things I gotta juggle. If that makes any sense. 11. What's one challenge? No, what one change do you think would help your TBR be more fun? Be more fun. Hmm. I don't know. Honestly, this is gonna sound like a terrible response. I wish I had just had more time to create more. Yeah, just to create more, make some of the things I put together a more like creative endeavor, and that could only be done with time, and I just don't have enough of it. Um, I'm pretty sure that's not how I was really supposed to answer the question, but that's how I feel about it. I just wish I had more of a time to do like little profiles or things for the characters I'm representing for my readathon. Um, yeah, I just wish I had the time to do that. I thought that would be kind of cute, but there's only so much time. 12. Final conclusion. TBR's fun or not, and tag people. TBRs are fun to me, and also what I really love about BookTube is seeing everyone else's iteration of how they handle TBRs. Because I've definitely seen people do like the uh, pick names of a jar. I think that's really cool. Oh my gosh, who is it? I just saw someone else. Some people like create TBRs based on games or like just some really cool themes. Or I wish I could give it a. I'm thinking of the name and I can't think of it right now. Nope, can't think of it. But yeah, I've definitely seen people create T-bars based on games, and that's been really cool to see. I do have potentially some ideas for like down the line, but that's going to be like years in the making because I have so much stuff planned. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for participating, tagging me, watching this. Um, I will be tagging some people. I'll figure out who I'm tagging. But in the meantime, if I haven't tagged you, but you're watching this, consider yourself tagged. And if I do somehow you see this and you decide that you want to do the tag, please tag me so I can watch. And I look forward to your responses. I hope I made sense this late at night. Life is chaos, so just be kind to yourself, be kind to others, and read more books. Bye.